that by now you have figured out that there is an intimate association of Vodafone with cricket. So be it the brand which has been with IPL from the very beginning, the only brand in India, or be it the fact that the Zoozoos, the famous, lovable Zoozoos, were actually born in IPL, as all of us know. So there is a little bit of that you're going to see in this cricket season, and that's really what I want to share with you in the course of the next 5-10 minutes. There is a clicker I have here. Okay. Has anyone been seeing Vodafone advertising recently? Abhi hum kuch keh rahe hain. Is there any campaign that you might have seen recently? I'm sure all of you track what's happening in the advertising and marketing world. So any campaign that you've seen from Vodafone this month?
See, if you had a mic, I would voice it out as well.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Gaurav. It was actually the ad called the Data Strong Network. Yes, absolutely. And it's been voiced by Gaurav. So that's the reason why he knows the ad and the campaign very intimately. So that's going on as we speak in the month of March, and it will continue through the months of April and May. We knew that you might have a question on ये Data Strong Network जो Vodafone कह रहा है. What exactly is it? So very simply put, what we are saying is that Vodafone has invested significant amount of money in terms of strengthening its networks by adding towers, so that today, besides voice, besides making calls, you're also able to do all the heavy lifting on the internet. So whether it is going live or broadcasting, or doing heavy files sharing, or uploading pictures rapidly, or doing a download or an upload, today it's possible because we've got a much stronger network, which is what we are calling a data strong network. I'm sure you've seen some of the advertising, and more of it is going to come through in the months of April and May, which is typically the IPL period, as you know it. So, like Gaurav said, and like I'm very proud to represent this company for the 10-year association that we've had with IPL across the years, Vodafone and IPL going strong. This one chart summarizes the history of IPL. Yeah, so we started way back 2008, 2009, Zoozoos are born. We do a couple of very engaging campaigns with Zoozoos. We realized that we wanted to bring in a little bit of freshness. That was also the time that the 3G marketing stories were going on. So 2015, we had this iconic campaign called Speed is Good, which was our 3G campaign. Last year was what we know as the most awarded telecom campaign of the year, which was the Be Super campaign. If you remember some part of that, Super Dad, Super Mom, Super Friend, Super Buddy, all of you wrote about it. And this year, the campaign that's already started and will continue, and you will see different variations of it, is the Data Strong campaign that I just spoke about. So that, under a minute, really is the history of the Vodafone campaigns across the years in the IPL season, with Zoozoos and without Zoozoos. So therefore, if I had to step back just for a moment and say what happened in IPL last year, I just want to refresh some memories. Last year was around 4 big ideas. Some of it, which was common, for example, SuperFan is an idea that all of us have experienced, and I think Gaurav spoke wonderfully about it. SuperFan was something we amplified last year. So typically SuperFan has been an idea that we do across SMS, a little bit on our website, etc. Last year we took it to TV. So we had a special TV commercial for SuperFan, and our participation, because lots of more of our customers came to know about it, increased 5-fold. Yeah. So SuperFan, there was a super cheer. Anyone remember something called Hakke Bakke? Yeah. So there was a super cheer that we experimented with, played around with, and I think that got a lot of consumer traction. And I'll come to one insight that we gained out of it. Super Army, which is essentially some of the super fans who are in the stadium and they get an experience of dancing and enjoying with the Zoozoos. And then we had a super album, which is essentially about consumers going and getting a selfie clicked with the Zoozoo and crowdsourcing a Guinness World Record for a super album. So a digital photo album the maximum amount of selfies with a brand's character. So that's really what the Guinness record was all about. So 4 big ideas, and what that enabled us to do was that it was a very, very big IPL for us last year. We featured among the top 2 brands in terms of talkability. We led the conversations digitally. So lots of people were talking about Vodafone and cricket. The SuperFan contest that we had, because we've been consistent with it, was the highest recall activation last year in IPL. And user-generated content, we experimented with Hakke Bakke videos, and that's something that really caught the fancy of the country last year. So that was flashback to last year. We are here to talk about the often asked questions consumers ask us, our friends in the media ask us. So, इस साल का क्या plan है? What is Vodafone going to do in 2017 IPL? So the plan is basically very simple and hopefully big and bold. So we plan to use some of the existing ideas that we have, some of the existing ideas that consumers, our friends in the media, all of us have loved together, and we make it larger than life. So last year, if you remember, was about 4 big ideas. This year, we've become even simpler. We are focusing on 2 ideas, SuperFan and Super Cheer, and our aspiration is to make it even bigger. How do we plan to do that? Let's talk about SuperFan. Gaurav talked about the fact that while some of us are from Bombay and we are used to the D.Y. Patil Stadium and the Wankhede Stadium, for a lot of us in India, the SuperFan experience is a once-in-a-lifetime memory. We have stories of fans who come from the smaller towns, who get so specially treated that it's a memory that they cherish in a lifetime, and they go back and they tell their friends, they tell their families. We've shot a couple of their stories and we've shared it with the world. It's really amazing. It is something that we treasure as a brand, as a company, and we plan to make that experience even bigger with something called SuperFan is Super Wish, which is essentially taking the SuperFan experience to the next level. So that's the first idea that we really want to make big. What does SuperFan ki Super Experience, Super Wish really mean? So all of us, I'm sure, being cricket fans, as has been proven in the last 15 minutes, all of us know that there is a VIP experience, there is a special experience that the SuperFan gets. From the moment he or she touches down in the stadium, cameras are trained on the person gets to sit in a VIP area, and at the end of the match, he or she gets a signed match ball from the winning captain, which becomes such a lovely souvenir of an evening well spent at an IPL game. But besides that, this year, we are adding a couple of bespoke experiences. So, things like dining with your favorite cricketer, or getting a session in net practice with a couple of our cricketers, a selfie with the IPL trophy, yeah, or featuring in the extra innings on national TV on Sony. So a couple of these experiences we are dialing up, and I'm sure, just like the first experience of getting the signed match ball is very, very treasured by cricket lovers and cricket fanatics, we do hope that this season, when we launch SuperFan ki Super Wish, again through a television campaign-led effort, we will see fans and consumers really warming up to this idea. So that's really the first big idea. And like I was saying, that while it will be led by television, there are various media that we will be using to reach across to this nation of cricket lovers for the SuperFan idea. So it will be on radio, on digital platforms, our retail stores. As you know, Vodafone has the largest network of retail stores in the telecom industry. So our retail stores aims to become extended stadiums where we will lift the cricket experience across April and May. Engaging smartphones, yeah. Looking at stories that I just said, emotional stories of superfans enjoying the experience, which will be shared across digital platforms. TV spots on IPL and extra innings. Something again that Gaurav has been intimately associated with as a property. So that's the first big idea, SuperFan ki Super Wish. We will also look at using technology, because at the end of the day we are a technology firm. We will use the power of our Vodafone SuperNet 4G network, leveraging technology and using digital platforms. This is an example where we will empower superfans to create amazing experiences. So this particular one is about a superfan or a group of superfans being able to enjoy a game without being in the stadium. So they will get to have a front row experience without being in the stadium by using a certain technology. More of that as we get into IPL 2017. That was the first big idea, the superfan, and how do we want to amplify it, make it even bigger. The second big idea, Super Cheer. Last year was about Hakke Bakke. A couple of our customers wrote back and said that we would love to have a Super Cheer by one of our own brand assets. So, anyone knows who I'm talking about? Brand assets of Vodafone? During IPL?
Zoozoos.
Okay, so the Zoozoos are back. Yeah! 2017 IPL, the Zoozoos are back. Yeah, there is a small Zoozoo mini army that's going to create a little bit of havoc. They're going to have fun, and they're going to be celebrating 10 years of brilliant cricketing moments. Yeah, as we all know, and as Gaurav also said, the Zoozoos were born in IPL. They were born in season 2 of IPL, and this year we want to get them back to celebrate 10 years of IPL. Let's see how that's going to happen. I have a couple of short clips to show you. These are not final films, so I won't be distributing it. But do take a look. This is the first time that these films are being showed, so you're getting a sneak peek of what's coming. Okay, and I hope the technology works. No, it doesn't. Okay. Take a look.